What's going on, guys? It's Coach New back in the building with another one. As usual, it's going to be jam packed full of jewels and lessons, man, that you can get in these crazy stories if you can get some up out of them. And your time is always appreciated because you could be doing anything, but you're here with me checking out these reviews, which is, like I said, another crazy one about a man charged with unaliving his wife at a community pool, man. So let's check it out.
Tonight, a horrific scene at a community center swimming pool where police say this man shot and killed his wife while her daughter was taking swim lessons.
He followed her and chased her down and shot her, like he was doing hunting.
Authorities putting together the pieces as the family of 30-year-old Chandel Harris mourns.
Man, that's crazy that this dude to do something like that, you know, at a outside in public with the kid there. This man, that's just mental health, man, and you need to get some help for that, man. Only you could change you. Nobody could make you mad. Nobody could make you upset, happy, any of those things, man. Happiness comes from within. Life is what you make of it. I say that all the time. And this is a perfect example of that. Domestic violence is, it's never a good thing, man. It doesn't help anybody for real, especially the kids, because those are the people that's really hurt at the end. And I don't know if it was her baby or not, or both of theirs. Well, mama's baby, papa's maybe, but it just, she lost her mom off of somebody not being able to control their emotions, and it's a perfect example of what decision making and how important it is, man, and the effects it has on people. You see them in the background, they're all crying because of one decision somebody else made, man, and how many people it affected, and acting out of emotion and what kind of effect it has on people instead of acting out of logic and doing the logical thing, man, which is just leaving somebody alone, not dealing with them. Yeah, it's easier said than done sometimes, but it has to be done, man, in order for you to be able to stay out of trouble and not to go to prison, not to make a bad situation worse. All of these things matter, man. We're adults, man, and we have to act like that and be mature enough to raise these kids and for people to look up to us and come to us for answers that they need.
It all happened at a Jewish community center in Miami Sunday.
The husband then showed up to the scene here and then shot her over at the pool deck.
The day before the tragic scene, officials say the suspect, 45-year-old Carl Watts Jr., stabbed Harris multiple times. The City of Miami Police Department telling NBC News in a statement they were aware of that incident, but by the time it was reported to them, Watts was gone and in hiding, adding that his wife was offered shelter but refused since she would stay with her mother.
Man, that's crazy that he would even stab her the day before and she still found enough strength to come out there and take her daughter to do what she had to do, man. It's just, this guy, he really needs some help, man. And you have to want some help for real. Like going around doing stuff like this is it's senseless, man. And it shows no spiritual awareness at all. No physical awareness. You know you're stronger than her, bigger than her, and you beating up on her and stuff, man. Like, what real problem does it solve to beat up on a woman? Like, it's not gonna solve your problems. Beating up a woman and stabbing her, shooting her. Now she's gone and you have more problems than what you started with. So that's the importance of mental awareness. Thinking about your actions and what you're doing, how they're affecting you, how they're affecting everybody else around you, man. When you make decisions like that, you're just making a bad situation worse. And it could have been avoided. Split second decision. A woman was 30 years old. That's young, man. For her to have to go out like that, it's a real tragedy. Now this dude's in jail. Somebody else lost him, two people gone, man. One's never coming back, and one's messed up in the head, man. It's crazy.
You were arrested for one count of second-degree murder. I'm holding with no bond.
According to the police report, Watts approached Harris and began offering her money to drop charges against him for the stabbing incident.
Well, you're wrong if you offering her money to drop the charges because you stabbed her. Like, you just completely in the wrong, bro.
He refused and asked him to leave. He shot her multiple times and, quote, continued to shoot her until he ran out of live cartridges.
I was a pretty good looking young woman, man, and she didn't deserve to go out like that, man. That's crazy, and I said this in a lot of videos too, man. No matter how good the woman looks, no matter how good the coochie is, man, how thick she is, whatever, you got to be able to walk away, man. And this is an example of somebody not being able to walk away, just putting so much time and energy into somebody else instead of focusing on themselves, that when things didn't go their way, they took it to the extreme, and now they have to suffer the consequences of that, man. A young lady's gone, and now you're in prison, man, because you did something to her, which you should have just left her alone, and even after, like stabbing her, that's crazy. And following her, she still just asked you to leave. And nobody, she can't beat you up or anything, man. So it's very important, man, to have common sense out here too. That's, very important, man. Like beating up on all these women and stuff, man, and you probably wouldn't even fight a dude or something, man. You'd be scared to fight a dude, but you beat up on a woman. That's crazy. I don't know if that's the case or whatever, but, it's like an example, man. And it's just messed up.
The family of the victim in shock.
She's a great mother. She didn't deserve this.
We reached out to Watts' attorney and they had no comment at this time. Now, details of Watts' criminal history and other pending cases coming to light. NBC News learning he's a person of interest in the disappearance of his former girlfriend in Fort Lauderdale.
June 25th will make 8 years that Trakita's been missing.
In 2014, Trakita Scott was last seen here, leaving work to meet Watts. NBC6 reporting Scott's family publicly suspected Watts was involved.
Where is she? What did you do to her? Why couldn't you be a man and move on with your life?
And that's a very good question and a very good point. Like, and shows the importance of moving on with your life, man. And it also shows, like, what happens when you don't move on with your life, man. You end up hurting people. People end up missing. We don't know allegedly if he has something to do with that one or not. But it's not a good track record to have. When especially women come up missing and unalived around you and stuff like that. And it's just showing a pattern that, you really need to work on yourself. You don't need to be in a relationship. This is a good example of what needing to work on yourself and not needing to be in a relationship looks like, man. Get your stuff together, man. And then when you're ready, when you're healed, go back out there and get yourself a woman that you could really, appreciate, that could appreciate you, that you could share your happiness with, because you shouldn't be looking for a woman to make you happy. That's not what a female's there to do for us. They're there to be our helpmeet, comfort us, nurture us, and we're the protectors and providers and stuff like that, man. If you, have that kind of relationship with the woman, man. But, they're not there to just, if they do something you don't like, you feel like you got to put your hands on them unalive them, then you shouldn't even be with them. Like I always say, if you got to hit her, then you don't need to be with her, man. That's just what it is for real.
Bot was never found, and police say her case is still open.
Domestic violence is one of those crimes where sometimes we don't have the full story as quickly as we wish we did.
Domestic violence is a major killer in the U.S. One study from the CDC showing that when the perpetrator was known, 50% of all women murdered were killed by their current or former intimate partner.
Domestic violence kills. There's resources out there. You don't have to live that kind of life.
All right, Issa joins us now live in studio. So Issa.
Yeah, and domestic violence is crazy, man. We all know people get into arguments, and the thing about it is, you're supposed to be able to control your emotions so it doesn't lead to domestic violence, and you're able to talk about whatever happened. And if you can't come to an agreement, having the wherewithal to just walk away and then talk to that person later, or if you need to, don't talk to them ever again. Just get your shit together, man. That's really what it is. And a lot of times people don't have that kind of mental, physical, and spiritual awareness to themselves, or haven't worked on themselves to the point where they're able to do that. And that's what these videos are for, man, to help people before a situation gets to this point, before you make it a bad situation worse, man. Just think about it. It's not really worth it, because no woman should ever be able to make you that upset to the point where you have to do something like that to her anyway. That's just showing like you have mental issues that you need to work on, man. You really need help, man. If you have to unalive a female, instead of being able to just move on, leave her alone, go get another woman that you can get along with. It shouldn't ever come to her not being able to be on the earth anymore because you had a disagreement.
You have these two cases, and you were just telling me detectives from both these cases are going to start talking?
That's right, Tom. We asked officials today, is there any relation here? Are you going to be investigating these together? And the Fort Lauderdale Police Department that's looking into the disappearance of Watt's girlfriend from back in 2014 said, this arrest this week, these charges are not related to our case. However, we are now talking to the Miami-Dade Police Department about this Harris's murder case now. I also want to point out that the Fort Lauderdale Police Department had the disappearance case listed as a cold case as of today. So now conversations are happening, like I said, with this other police department. We're going to be keeping a close eye and seeing if there are any developments almost 8 years after that disappearance.
And that's crazy too, because now they're bringing up old stuff, man, stuff from the past. If it is showing similarities, then that's what's going to happen, man, because they're seeing a trend of like the same or similar kind of crimes, man. Women coming up missing, women coming up unalive, man, and your name being in the circle of that. So it's gonna raise eyebrows, red flags, and suspicion, and have people, start lifting up those rugs, getting that dirt from under the rugs, man, dusting off those old files and looking into stuff, man. So just not even getting yourself into those kind of situations in the first place is what really is what it should be. Working on yourself, having stuff going on, having motion, so that you don't have to spend your energy making somebody else's life miserable because you're miserable or you're unhappy. And you don't know how to properly get rid of those type of feelings, man. So you take it out on other people weaker than you, to make yourself feel better. And at the end of the day, it really doesn't make you feel any better, man. It's just a void that, or a black hole that it can never be filled, man. So, You know, that's the importance of mental, physical, and spiritual awareness as well as decision making and the kind of impact it has on you and everyone around you. And it's Coach Nuke. And like, share, comment, subscribe if you're feeling this kind of content. And your time is always appreciated because you can be doing anything but you hear me checking out these reviews, man. It's really appreciated. And until next time, I'm out.